Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're talking about why chipboard is a rock star in your craft room, and I'm going to show you how I like to use it. Lots of different ways. Okay, number one, what is chipboard? Chipboard is a product, this is it laying here in two different colors, that is thicker than cardstock, thinner than cardboard, very similar to matte board, which is something that you matte photos with, like matte artwork with. You know, the little matte board that goes around artwork is very similar to that. It comes in different thicknesses. I'm going to be using a heavy chipboard today. As you can see, it's pretty thick. It is, this one that I'm using here is a white on one side, craft on the other board. We have this in 3 colors in the store, but this is a pretty thick board. I mean, this is about 4 cereal boxes thick, maybe 3 cereal boxes thick. That'll give you an idea. That's the white. This is the black, which is absolutely luscious. The black is so pretty because it's black all the way through, all the way around. And there's so many ways to use it. Now, we are making a project in just a second, but I want to show you some ways I've used chipboard. And what we're going to do is link you to the videos for these projects because I want you to see them, okay? So this, for example, this is chipboard, you guys. Every bit of this whole project was done using the chipboard I just showed you. It's an album. Actually, the album's not in here, but this would be an album. It would hang here, and then it lives inside the little purse, and this magnet's on. Again, we have a full tutorial for that. But all of this, except the handle, is chipboard. You see that? That's one way chipboard is a rock star. Here's another way. Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite projects I ever did. So this is a lantern that I made 2 or 3 years ago. This is all chipboard, you guys. The base, the top, but it looks like metal, doesn't it? Chipboard is such a rock star. I adore it. This is vellum inside of here. So you put a candle in and it lights up. There's a video for that as well. Let me show you another way to use vellum. I mean, not vellum, but how to use chipboard. Y'all want a vellum video too, don't you? So this is chipboard as well. This is an advent calendar I made a couple years ago, and this is just chipboard. As a matter of fact, look on the back. It's one full piece plus another piece, solid chipboard, and this guy's a couple years old, and it's a little advent we did way back, I think a couple years ago. But see how versatile chipboard is? Let me show you another way that we can use chipboard. Today, I'm going to take this paper pack, the Christmas Salutations pack, and I'm going to make some ornaments. I think these little cut aparts are so cute. I'm gonna make a big one, so I'm gonna pull this one out here, and then I'm gonna use another size. I think I'm gonna use this size. Let me look, because there was another set of cut aparts. If you've not got the Christmas Salutations pack, it is all wording basically. It's great for as many as cards and things like that. This is the one I wanted, so I'm going to use this one as well. It's great for as many as cards. It's great for making bookmarks, note cards, you name it. It is very well suited to card makers. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first cut all these guys apart. So in my cut aparts, what I did on the small sheet is as I was cutting them, I put aside the ones I would want to use. And since today I'm making ornaments, I kind of thought these that were orientated up and down, not the sideways. You could do the sideways, but it would hang sideways on your tree. So the ones that were orientated up and down, I'm going to use those, or portrait, right? The landscape ones, I'm going to save for different projects. And not only the landscape, but the ones that say like, Happy Holidays to You, I'll save that for a different project. To me, these are perfect gift tags. That's what I would use those for. Now, in the big ones, I decided only to use one today for the project, just to show you how this works. So I chose this deck, the halls. All right. Now, this is a 4x6 piece, and these pieces are 3x4. Let me double check that. It's been a while. 3x4, yes. So I'm going to cut my chipboard to these sizes as well. So I'm going to be using my white chipboard, but the only reason I'm doing that is because I want to glue my cut apart to this side, but I want to make the back faux wood. I'm going to show you another reason I think chipboard rocks, and that is by making it faux wood. So I'm going to cut these down 3x4, and here's a tip with chipboard, okay? Have yourself a cutting or trimmer just for chipboard. See how that says chipboard on it? Now here's what I do, okay? I slice it on the top one time, then I flip it over and slice it again. The reason for this is chipboard, this particular chipboard is too thick for one pass, but 2 passes does a really good job. See that? Now I will tell you, you don't want to use a new blade here, okay? Here's how I put blades in my chipboard trimmer. When I change out my blade from my good trimmer, from my paper trimmer, I put that blade in here because just because it's not good to cut my paper, it's still fine for cutting my chipboard. Okay, so I save those for this purpose. Now I'm going to stop here because I need to do a 4x6, and I think this should be 6 because I did 3, 3. So let's cut 4 here, and this will be my 4x6 cut apart. So chipboard, oh, it literally is my favorite. If you're an ATC maker, if you're an album maker, if you make albums, it's instant pages. Like this is a page, you just decorate. Awesome. All right, so let's move this out of the way. I've got some more samples to show you, at least one more sample to show you in a few minutes of some chipboard too. Oh, I need to do a little more cutting. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, got my pieces cut. So let's talk faux wood. Let's turn the back of these into wood using my favorite technique. It is called ink dragging. Okay, let me bring this over. This is vintage photo, but you can use just about any color, especially brown, tone on tone, even a dark, dark brown. This one is ground espresso. I'll show you that one as well. Let's, on the big one, use the ground espresso so I can do the other ones kind of to match. So here's what you do. I want you to see how quick this goes. I want my planks to run, my tag is going to go this way, but I want my planks to run this way. So I'm going to drag in this direction. Now, when we drag, we're not necessarily laying down the whole pad. You can, but you can lift, turn, edge. You can do all different kinds of movements and get different wood. Let me show you. So just using the tip of the pad and dragging across, you get this look, and it starts to look like wood. Okay. If I wanted to, I can make a plank. So watch, I'll use the edge and drag it this way. And look, it looks like a wood plank. Does it not? How cool is that, right? Let's keep going with that technique. I'm going to go ahead and just drag across and then do a plank. Look at that, y'all. It's like instant. Drag across, do a plank. Drag across, do a plank. And I'm not done. I'm going to show you even more ways on this piece to give it that wood look. And I'm telling you, a lot of times it's hard to tell the difference when you've done this. Okay, so there's my wood planks. Isn't that cool? Now this is super wet, remember that. And do this before you put your cut apart on because you've got this ink, and I'm going to wipe that off just to kind of keep us from making too big of a mess. But don't put your cut apart on, before you do this. All right, now let's make it look even more like wood because the edges, although they look pretty good, let's do a little more work. Take that ink pad and nick the edges. Nick it. See how I'm nicking that? Isn't that awesome? Look at how it changes it. Nick and drag. And I'm using the corner of the ink pad to do that. And you can go deeper, shorter. It does not matter. This just changes everything. I missed one little piece down here. This just really gives you that rugged, distressed wood look. And the more irregular it is, the better. And I struggle with that because I'm a person that likes to kind of repeat the same thing over and over. So the more irregular you can do it, the more, look at that, y'all. It is literally turning into wood before our eyes, isn't it? Isn't that cool? Now, what I'm going to do here, and this is probably where I'll mess things up, but I'm going to come into the middle and do some little drags on the corner of the pad. Just add a little more variegation in the wood. See that? Stop wherever you get ready. I'm going to rough up these edges, and I think I'm even going to rough up the whole edges. Now, my fingers will get dirty. That's just all there is to it. This is your fingers are going to get dirty project, but sometimes that's fun. And let me tell you who would love this because you are just dragging. Kids, they would love this. It is very, very hard to mess this up. And with kids, although they are free and they love to do things that are very, free and very artistic, they also want to feel like they are successful. And this is one that can do that. Look, we just made planky wood. Kind of cool, right? You can do your color heavier. Now I've done this color. Let's go back and add some vintage photo, and this time cover right over what we did and make it even darker or even more stained looking. So our wood is even stained more because we're using two colors. Just look. And as it dries, it gets better and better. All right, let's do the other ones. Let's do our other pieces here. And same thing. I think this time I'm going to show you a little bit different. Let's just drag this. Let's drag this one up and down. Do I want to do it? No, I still like going side to side. So let's do this one with Vintage Photo first. And see how it kind of creates its own planks? That's because this edge and this edge are meeting or overlapping, and it will do that. See that? Pretty cool, right? And then I'm going back and doing little edges. Then I'm going to take this same ink pad and nick the edges like we were doing with the little one. Just use the same ink pad. And this is not messing up your ink pads, I promise. I mean, don't scrub them like you're trying to take the surface off, you know, but just nick at it and just kind of drag. Isn't that cool? It's just wood. It's one of my favorite things about chipboard. I have literally made projects that hang on the wall that people have no idea are ink and chipboard. They think it is wood. All right, so there's that. I'm going to run through and do all of them that way, and we'll get right back together. Now, just as a way to give these a little more interest like we did the first board, I'm going to go back to my ground espresso. It doesn't have to be ground espresso. I'm just going to use it because I've got it. And I'm going to come into the side and do those little nick ends like I did on the other one. And I may even come back and do the planks a little darker in between. We'll see. Let's see how that looks. It can't hurt anything to just kind of come through and do your planks. It just doesn't hurt. You just can't mess it up. It's so beautiful. It's so cool and so fun. Now, before you move on from this, you want to make sure you clean your hands. I use some hand sanitizer on mine, and I'm just wiping them on my towel. They won't be unstained. It will come off later, but it won't get off onto my papers and things that I'm using. So that's what we're being sure of. All right, let's go to the big one. It'll be dry because we did it first. I'll pile these up over here. Look, it's just wood. Isn't that the coolest technique? Love it. All right, on this side, you see all the ink over there. We're going to glue this guy down. Now, I'm going to test the size because I did this without checking. It's pretty close. I may have to trim a little at the top, but that's okay. I'm just going to glue this straight down. Now, let me think. Do I want to glue this or do I want to tape this? The reason I say that is chipboard is cardboard, right? And sometimes it can wiggle with moisture. Let's tape it. So these Elizabeth tape sheets come in a 6x6. I love it. I love Elizabeth tape anyway. I love this kind of peel and stick tape. But watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to peel this back, revealing the adhesive. Only on half of it because I don't need the whole thing. And then I'm just going to place this down. I shake, so you got to let the shake happen first. Place this down. Scrub it. Make sure I'm getting every bit of it covered. Then I'm going to pull this back down and I'm going to cut this away, saving that other piece because I can use that for something else. I might could use it for the small ones. So I'm just going to come right beside where my ornament is, because this is going to be an ornament like we said, and cut right beside that. That gets that off so I can see what I'm doing. Perfect. It's gone. Okay. So now I have this piece that I can save for something else. And we'll come back over here. I'm going to burnish this down. This is really a good idea for ornaments. If you were making tags, I'd probably just glue it. But if you're making an ornament like I am and you want it to last for a long time, it is not a bad idea to do this. Now, I put the tape on the chipboard. You could totally just put the tape on the cut apart if you wanted to. But I like how sturdy the chipboard is for this. Now, something I want to caution you on. Anytime you're doing a full cover like this, turn that adhesive in. If you don't, the edges of your ornament will stay sticky. So just kind of go around and turn it in if it's hanging over anywhere. All right, now it's time for this guy. So we're going to place it at the bottom, just like so. And I'm going to try to be careful and line this up because once it's down, it's down. That's all there is to it. That's all she wrote. All right, look, there is that. All right, let's trim this top away. I think I'm going to use my Tim Holtz snippers for this because they're pretty sturdy. The chipboard actually cuts pretty easy with scissors. I think people are kind of surprised whenever they cut it. Brenda did a class at Craft Acropolis with chipboard, and you cut it with scissors, and no one struggled with that. I was really glad about that. It just cuts pretty good. I mean, with Tim Holtz snips or with something like a tonic scissor, something sturdy. You also can do this that I'm doing now with your long scissors, but mine have walked away from my desk. Everything has been walking away lately. I'm looking for them. Nope, walked away. Or you can do this with your blade, because you could just lay your blade down and do it too, which is what I normally do. All right, so there is that. Now, Do I want this to be just a square piece at the top? I don't think so. I think I want to make it look like a tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cutting mat to help me. I did this the other day and it works really good. I want a 3/4 of an inch cut here. So I'm going to put this on my cutting mat to where I can make a mark 3/4 of an inch in and 3/4 of an inch down. And then I'm going to snip across with scissors. So same thing here. Let's go 3/4 of an inch in, 1, 2, 3 down. And then I will take my scissors and I will snip across to make my tag. I would use my punch, but I want a bigger angle than my punch would provide. So you see there, kind of cool. I got a little piece here that I can't quite, let's do it this way. Just a little fuzzy bit. There we go. Got it. Okay. So, do you want to ink the top? You certainly could. I'm not sure I'm going to ink the top and make it look distressed, but I am going to run my ink down the side so it kind of hides that extra white we just put on there. So I'm just going to take this guy and just rub it down, and that knocks it back a little bit. I don't want to distress it. I don't think distressing it will go with the look I'm fixing to add to this one. I'm just going to do it this way. Now I'm going to run through and do the other 4 just like this, and then we'll turn them into ornaments. So now it's time for what I call the fun part. Let's decorate them. So I'm going to be using my crocodile here and placing my hole. And I don't want to go to the very edge with the hole, and I'll show you why. Got little hole punches in there. If you go too close to the edge, you take a chance of pulling your twine out that we're going to add. Look how cute this is, y'all, with the wood on the back. Come on. And then I'm going to do the other ones. Here's what I was thinking when I was doing this. You totally could decorate your whole tree like this. You literally could have all your ornaments could be this. 1 good pack of paper, couple sheets of chipboard, and the little ephemera I'm going to add in a second, which is beads, ribbon, and twine. You could totally, I went a little low on that one. I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to stress about it. Should have gone a little higher and avoided that word, but I was talking. So you totally could do your whole tree like this. I remember when I was young, my mom, we didn't have a lot of money, and she wanted to redo the tree, and she would use old clothes and wrap ornaments and things like that. This is just cardstock and paper, basically, right? So we totally could do this from our stashes. All right, I'm going to cut a piece that is longer than I need. Let me measure this piece so you'll kind of know. This piece is about 11 inches. That's what I thought I was going to do. Now I'm going to cut one of those for all of these. It still might be more than I need, but it gives me plenty to work with. So as you can see, we didn't even use a whole piece of chipboard here. Do you see these just showed up? You know why? Because I couldn't find them on this messy desk. Here I was going, they've walked off. No, they were here. I'm just being real with you guys, huh? We could edit that out, but we're not going to. So they showed up. Wish they'd have showed up a few minutes ago. Would have made everything easier. Anyway, got my twine cut. Now, here's what I did. I thought this worked really well. I'm going to take my bead threader. And what I say by what I did, I made a sample of this for our latest stamp release. This is what we're doing. And this worked really good for me. Okay, so taking your twine, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to slip knot this through. I think it looks pretty. What that means is I'm going to put my bead threader through here. I'm going to put the folded end of that twine through and pull it through. Okay, and then what is a slip knot? You open the loop on one end, you take the free edges and put them into the loop and pull. Don't pull super tight because you might pull it out. Now in my original, I tied a knot at the top. You can't see it there because I tied the bow around it, but I just took this guy, wrapped it around, tied a knot that would live low. I don't think I need that, so I'm not going to do it this time. So all I'm going to do is run through and do that same thing for all of these guys, and then we'll talk about beads. While I'm doing this, on those cut-aparts that are landscape, you can do this same thing. Just instead of making them look like a tag, maybe just round the corners and just make them look like a little plaque, you know? And that'd be super cute on those too. So you literally could take this whole paper pack and create ornaments. All right, beads. These are mine. This is what we're carrying in store. They don't come like this. They come in a single strand of each color. I want to say you get 22 beads in the order or in the string. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hope these don't go all over my desk. They probably are gonna get close. I'm gonna take 3, maybe the black, the cream, and the white, and go to this guy. Now I'm taking the bead and putting the bead threader through it. Then I'm going to take my loose twine and put through the end of the bead threader. Okay. Then I'm going to pull this through my bead. So just like this. It takes a little force, but it'll go. It also is going to fray the end of your twine, but don't worry about that because we're going to tie a knot there anyway. So I'm putting that guy on. I'm going to put another one on. Now, I probably could have given myself a little more twine now that I'm looking, because if I wanted to add a bow or something to this, I might need a little bit more. I don't think I'll need too much more. I think I'm okay. But let's get that through. Look how cute this is. This whole bead thing is huge right now. It's huge in home decor. The beads are huge. I do that wrong every now and then. You have to go through the bead first. The beads are very big in home decor. Beads just laying around, wrapped over things. And these beads on ornaments and things, you'll see this when you get out looking at ornaments. When you get out and about, you'll see. So see how cute that is? I'm just going to tie a knot at the top, and this will be what ties it to my tree. Or this little loop will be what holds it to my tree. All right, so I'm going to do it that way. And I'm going to trim a little bit of this off because it got a little super frayed. Let's do it like that, make it kind of cute. And then that will go on the tree. And I actually like, now you can change this. I like a small hole because I don't like anything to hang too far off the branch. I like it to kind of hang tight. So this is one ornament. All right, let's do the others. So there you go. Those are ideas for ornaments for your tree using cut-aparts and chipboard. Chipboard is a rock star. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you from chipboard is last year, this was my advent calendar, and we have the full video for it, and it is mostly chipboard inspired, right? Here's the little boxes inside, but this and the board back here is chipboard. So you need to have chipboard in your stash. Every project can be elevated, or some things can just be 100% chipboard heavy. Like, I have so many projects on my channel. Tell you what, I'll make a playlist. How about that? We'll do a playlist of chipboard projects so you can see how we use it. But my favorite thing is turning it into wood. I just think you can do so much with this. Turning into wood, make it look like metal with the right product, like I'll show you in that lantern video. Just love it. So chipboard on your Christmas tree. I was thinking about this on the Christmas tree, but what about this on a garland, like hanging off the mantle so the little beads would kind of hang down? Wouldn't that be cute? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to try to bring you some more kind of workhorses in your craft room. There's a lot of stuff that are things that you'll need, things that if you have it in your stash, you won't be sad about, and I'll be bringing those to you really soon. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Also, if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. That makes me know that you like this style of video. If you make these, what's the deal? I want to see them on my customer gallery. Head to maymaymadeit.com and share your projects with us there. Thanks so much for being here today. Until next time, bye now.